Hello everyone, welcome back to Resident Evil 4. This is today's third session overall. As I mentioned yesterday, in I guess what would be session 4 or video 4, I've been having so much fun with this game that I'm actually recording a little bit more than I had originally expected to, which is good. You know, I'm glad that this is actually working out, and I'm having such a good time that I'm eager to keep getting back into the game rather than just like bouncing off it or spending a few hours playing a game that I ultimately maybe don't like or something, or like I was worried in a sense because it's been so long since I played it that it might not hold up. I will say one thing that I did right at the end of last session was that I went through this door, and in between last session and now, I did a couple of rounds at the shooting range. So the shooting range is a mini game, and you get preset loadouts that the merchant gives you, and as a result you can win bottle caps. So I actually in 2 sessions I was able to get, or like two rounds of the game, I was able to get 6 bottle caps. I don't know what the score thresholds are for it, but because I cleared out the entire first row, I think he gave me a prize of I think it was 15,000 pesetas, something like that. But this is mostly kind of a silly mini game, but the fact that you can get some extra reward money for it is really beneficial. They also have, for the sake of it, they have like sounds, which is funny and goofy, and it's also a little bit silly. Not that it's a major spoiler, but it's a minor spoiler that not only does this bottle cap say Ada, but you can get an Ada Wong bottle cap like way before she actually shows up in the story.
Leon, now!
And that, yeah, that's also a funny thing, because that's audio from the final boss battle, I believe. So it's kind of funny that the game gives it to you. I'll do, like, the shooting range isn't actually very fun to watch. I'll do one round of it so you all can see what it's like. But I'm probably just going to do these off camera, and I'll continue to inform everyone of what my success rate is like. This was, as memory serves, pretty hard on the Gamecube to clear out all the bottle caps, but it was like extremely easy on the Wii. I have the advantage on PC that I could switch over to my mouse if I wanted to, but so far I've just been doing it with controller, and I think I'll stick with that for a little bit, and then if we get deeper into the game, I might switch over to the mouse just to like clear up the last few rewards. You get double points for headshots. Oh man, this is a really... I'm just gonna leave. This is a bad start to the session. Okay. So you get... Dang it. I was doing really well the first time I played this. You get double points for headshots, so that's like pretty crucial to strategy. And these guys don't stay up forever, so you have limited time to execute. Shooting Ashley, I think, is like negative 1,000 points or something. I didn't get any prizes for that because I've done that well or better in the past. There's 2 separate loadouts. There's rapid fire and sniping, and I did 1 round of each, and as I said, got 6 bottle caps. So I think you get, I forget how the rewards break down, but like, I think there's rewards for getting every target, there's rewards for getting past certain point thresholds, and there's rewards for maybe getting a perfect round, which would be a headshot on every enemy and no misses, something like that. It's been a while. That kind of vagary is a little bit harder for me to remember than generalities about the game. So deeper into the castle we go. We upgraded some weapons. We have lost Ashley. And we are headed down into the sewers where Salazar has told us he released something down here. Which I think he implied were insects, which is true. They're going to be these big old bugs. Locust-like guys. I guess, I don't know. They're like, they're fictional, obviously, because of the size, but they're like a little anthro, but not super anthropomorphic. They are, there we go. They're that. And they barf on you. It'll melt Leon's face off if I die during that animation. I should probably switch to shotgun and use shotgun for these sections. What is that? Ow. They're... They're a famously much hated enemy among speedrunners because they're kind of unpredictable, and the fact that they're invisible is obviously like a huge issue, or like invisible some of the time. There's tells for learning how to identify what they do. But I don't remember what they are. Rifle ammo, so it sort of makes sense that I should. There's 2? Oh, there's both. Okay. Red eyes and green eyes are going to be pretty common from here out. I believe they drop like with pretty high frequency with our insect buddies. Like you can, like there'll come this point later on where we have to go through this cave and you'll pick up like dozens of those, like literally dozens of them. One up there. I hear you. I'm probably going to be doing a lot of this. Like switching between shotgun and rifle. Ow. Probably his death. One more round. There you go. Ow! health already down. Yeah, these guys suck. I feel like it's a little bit harder. I feel like it's a little bit harder right now than... Oh. It looks like he was alive until just recently. Judging by the wound, it was a quick death. Leon CSI. I feel like it was a little bit easier on the Wii version because of the... I'll read that in a moment. Because of the way that the targeting reticule worked in that game, I feel like it was always a little bit easier to know when you're like aiming on them properly. Go this way. Let's read Luis's file. Luis's memo. There's some parasites that have the ability to control their hosts. It's basic knowledge among biologists, but not much is known about how the parasites do it. Studying these parasites specifically might reveal some clues as to how the powers of the Las Plagas work, and perhaps provide more insight on the victims of the Las Plagas, the Los Ganados. The Los Ganados, and I guess the Las Plagas is kind of redundant, but the mix of Spanish and English in this game is perplexing at times. Here's a list of some parasites that have the ability to manipulate the behavioral patterns of their host. Dicrocolium. Once the larvae of this parasite migrates to the ant's esophagus, it alters the behavior of the ant. When the temperature drops in the evening, the infected ant climbs to the top of a plant and clamps onto a leaf using its mandible. It stays there immobile until the next morning, placing the ant where it's most vulnerable to be eaten by a browsing herbivore such as sheep. One could conclude that the parasite is manipulating the host's behavior to make its way into the body of its definitive host. Galactosomum. The larvae of this parasite makes its home inside the brain of a fish, such as the yellowtail and the parrot bass. Once infected, the fish make their way up to the water surface where they'll swim until eaten by seabirds. Once again, this peculiar behavior can only be explained by the parasite's desire to get into the bodies of the seabirds. Lycochloridium. This parasite's sporocysts develop in the snail's tentacles. The sporocysts are vivid in color and pulsate continually, somewhat like a worm. Surprisingly, the infected snail makes its way to the top of a plant where it is more visible to the eyes of birds, therefore more likely to be eaten. Once eaten by a bird, the parasite will complete its metamorphosis into an adult. I actually like that memo a lot, and I wish we got a little bit more scientist Louise. I think it's kind of a cool part of the game. Yeah, all those parasites are real. And there is this observed behavior, and I think it also, like, I don't know, there's actually a surprisingly elegant, like, well-considered plotting to be discovered in that. In that, like, the entire plan with Ashley, like, infecting Ashley into in and of itself doesn't matter that much. But, like, the point of infecting Ashley is to actually infect the President of the United States. Like, they would give up their main hostage, Ashley, with the intention of returning her to the President so that she infects him, and then they suddenly have control of the world by way of the U.S. President. Here's another combine object, by the way. I viewed it just so y'all could have a moment to see that. But I think it's actually, like, a surprisingly effective, like, plot device that they explain this by way of, like, the parasite's first host isn't necessarily the goal. Like, they effectively narrativized that, or turned it into... No. Damage. I will take the risk. Nope. Aha! I wonder if that's the AI director at work. The fact that I was already low health. This guy only took 2 shotgun shells rather than 3. I don't exactly know. At some point, like, during this playthrough, I will actually look up more about the AI director or the scaling difficulty, because I think it's one of the most interesting parts of the game, and was really, like, visionary. Shotgun shells. Okay, I still have 19 plus what's in the gun. It's not bad. I don't think I've missed any treasure. No. No, okay. Cool. I actually have a surprisingly large number of grenades right now, so I should remember to utilize those at some point. Or, like, be a little bit freer with them. Yeah, they keep giving me a lot of them, in fact. Which makes me think I should probably be using them. Maybe in some capacity they're, like, better against the bugs than I had remembered them being. Alright. Sen's Fortress. More Dark Souls jokes. Is there anything in here? For whatever reason, I thought that there was one, like, in the ceiling in between the axes, but I guess I'm wrong. But if there are, I mean, maybe there are, but, like, I think we've already established that some of the minor things, like the Velvet Blues and the Spinels, don't necessarily show up on the treasure map. Okay, yeah, this is a perfect time to use a grenade. Ideal, one might even say. That's probably almost all of them dead. Like, that's the overwhelming majority, I'm sure. And the leader didn't get away. Where is he? Is there... climbing? Perfect. The fact that they, like, set up in here, like, while the merchant was here, presumably, and, like, just doing his thing, and they were like, okay, time to do a ritual, is kind of funny to me. I believe what this does is the merchant moves up here. Yeah.
Welcome. Got some rare things on. What are you buying?
What's updated? Nothing, actually. I think I'm maxed out.
What are you buying?
Yeah.
What are you
Same.
selling? Is that all? Thank you. Is that all? Thank you. Is that all? Thank you.
I don't think there's anything I can put into the Illuminatus pendant, but I'll check. So actually one thing I should do, now that the ladder exists, I believe there's another, like, chandelier hop that we can do here. Yep. More velvet blue, which I can sell back later. It's not a rush for me to do it now. Can this be unlocked? No. But this lets me hop. Get this treasure. It's another crown. Or mask, I mean. Which is good, because I've already started collecting more of these guys. Yeah, I didn't think that there was anything I could do. But cool. Is there still... Yeah, there is still a save point down there. Weird. I guess I should do that real quick. And did I see that I missed a treasure over here? No. Nope. Looks like I got them all. Oh. Part of what I intended to say at the start of the session, also when I was talking about how much fun I was having with this game, is that I intended last session to be shorter because I realized that the first like 2 through 4 were all kind of long. But even with last session allegedly being like the shorter session, it still ended up being like 50 minutes long. Thank you. I want that. I might just use that immediately. Buff up my health. I'm almost at 7 now. That's good. And yeah, we're mostly good. Castellan memo. Castellan, I guess. I guess I've never really looked at that drawing, but it's kind of interesting. You see these 3 knights with presumably executing like martyrs or druids or something. Los Illuminados is written at the bottom right. Huh. For many years, the Salazar family has served as the Castellans of this castle. However, not everything is bright, for my ancestry has a dark past. Long ago, there was once a religious group that had deep roots in this region called the Los Illuminados. Unjustly, however, the first Castellan of the castle took away their rights and powers. As a follower of this religion, and as the 8th Castellan, I felt that it was my duty as well as my responsibility to atone for that sin. I knew that the best way to atone for the sin was to give power back to those who we once took it away from, the Los Illuminados. As expected, it took a little time, but we were able to rejuvenate the once sealed Las Plagas. With this success, I was one step closer to the revival of the Los Illuminados. The reason why I released the Las Plagas from deep underground this castle and gave them to my Lord Sadler was not only to repay for the sins of my ancestors, but I felt certain that the Lord would make better use of this power to help save the world. To save those that have sinned with the power of the Las Plagas and to cleanse their souls, creating a world without sinners. The way it was meant to be. Once cleansed, they would become one of the many ganados where they will find their reason to live. And after the Lord has succeeded in creating the world in which he has envisioned, then the sins of my Salazar family will be atoned for. Interesting. I guess that's a little bit more background on the cult than I'd remembered. I guess I sort of remembered that about Salazar, but it's still a little ambiguous to me as to like who Sadler is, where he comes from, and what his motivations are. Oh yeah, here's one of the goofier bits in the game. Come on. How? I can run and get this room back in better order later. Let's just get out of the line of sight. Shotgun? No, I should save that. Are there more guys down there? Yes. Come on through. Hi. Nope. Once we get up here, we're gonna get a Gatling gun guy, so... Am I right? Cool. Gatling gun guy sounds kind of silly in this context, but I said this is kind of where the game gets really silly. There's something about the like decorative style at play here that's like especially ridiculous, I think. Yeah. He's running. I think I can stop him from getting to the Gatling gun if I do that. He dropped the key, I believe, and I think I stopped him because I stopped him from getting to the Gatling gun. We don't have to deal with that, which is... Whoa. That was a little scarier than I wanted. There we go. Last guy in the room, presumably. So yeah, if he had run the whole length of the circle, there we go. He'd have like disappeared, I think, into that door, and then emerged from the center of the room on a Gatling gun platform. How do I get down from here? I guess I might just have to go back through the doors. Check the vases down there. See if I can get any more ammo or treasure. I love this room, though. It's one of my favorite rooms in the game. In terms of being, like... just beautiful and interesting in terms of how it's laid out. And you don't get this kind of setting in a lot of shooters, and I feel like Resident Evil has always been good at bringing out this kind of strange splendor. Is it down here? Yeah. It's also a funny little audio detail, but there's certain things that I notice a lot more because I'm playing this game with headphones on rather than like standard television audio that I maybe wouldn't have noticed under other circumstances. The presence of the chanting is like much louder than I had remembered, which is very eerie and actually adds to the horror atmosphere really well. But the other thing is, Leon will start panting after having run only like is it something like that? What is this again? I'm trying to remember what the clue is. I might have already seen it. I don't remember. The sacrifice of 6 lives. So we need it to be... We need it to be 1 2 1 2. I used to remember the exact order you're supposed to do it in. Almost there. I'm sorry, this is probably really frustrating for anybody who's watching and knows this stuff, like the back of your hand. I'm not quite there. Oh, there we go.
What a pleasant surprise. But I'm afraid it's Ashley we need. Not you, Mr. Kennedy.
If you don't need me, then get off my back, old man.
Did you say old man, Mr. Kennedy? It might come as a surprise, but I'm only 20 years old.
So you're just like all the others? A puppet of the parasites?
Surely you don't think I'm the same as those diminutive ganados. The parasites, las plagas, are slaves to my will. I have absolute control.
Well, I really don't give a damn. Rain or shine, you're going down.
Get rid of our American friend.
Grenade time again.
Allí están. Allí están.
Most of the front floor guys, yeah. In fact, that was all of them that spawns the upper level guys. Cool. Good on me. I see you. Nerd. About to become a headburster. Yeah, saw that right. There we go. get out kind of a problem. Head burster? Yep. Ow. Is that it? You know, you can treat the room more like an action sequence and like run around and do heroics and stuff, but it's just easier not to. I have to deactivate the security system first. Like, killing everybody, for the most part, is a little bit easier. At least, like, as a so-called experienced player or something. Anything back here? No. As a so-called experienced player, I'm just familiar with the idea that, like, certain things are going to happen in sequence that are pretty well within my control. What do I have to do in here? But yeah, hiding. Hiding works. Do you drop a spinel? No. That is a way to kill the, like, kill the crossbow guys, though. I have to deactivate it. This I don't remember. Probably this. More guys? I think more guys maybe. Yeah. Oh, should have just dodged. Might as well. Out of health items, but there's worse circumstances. Yeah, more guys show up now. Taking the hit from the grenade launcher was a bad idea on my part, but everything else is going okay. Can I drop down from here? Maybe not. Maybe from here. And that's the first part of our chimera. Cool. So, I might call it. I think it's probably been about 40 minutes. I'm going to try to keep these episodes a little bit tighter, just so I don't have these, like, crazy, like, 8 gigabyte uploads to deal with. But this has been fun. I really enjoy these environments. I just think that they're, like, beautiful and interesting and strange, and I think the cultists are like, I feel better shooting at the cultists than I do at shooting at random villagers in rural Spain. So This is fun. I'm happy to keep going with this, and I'm probably gonna keep on recording tomorrow with session 8. So thanks always for watching, and we'll see you next time.